Hi, Dylan. I wanted to leave you some feedback on your thesis statement, your week 3 writing assignment. First off, don't forget to include your header up here in your right-hand corner, which is your last name and your page number. Um, so you have submitted a summary of the use of force. And the summary itself overall is working pretty well. What I don't yet see is a thesis statement, nor do I see a plan for how you will support that thesis statement. So remember, you need a clear thesis, you need a clear stance in your essay. Presented in the introduction. So the reader needs to know what claim you're making on the story and why you're making that claim. You give a hint to a stance, but you never include it. So you say, I want to talk about the use of force on the little girl and if it was necessary or not. But notice you never do that. You summarize it, but we don't know how you feel about the use of force. So this idea could potentially turn into a claim, right? But you need to state explicitly where you stand on the issue and why. And that should take the form of a thesis statement down here at the end of your summary, because really all of these are just summary details. And then from there, we need the key ideas of how you plan to prove that for the essay. So I think that this is a fine question to ask. And I think it's a good question to use as an analysis. But in order to do that, you have to form a position, right? You have to form a clear stance, and you need to state that explicitly in a thesis statement. So in terms of the summary, all the details that you've included are very clear. They work. There's just a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. So when you write a summary, do your best to avoid phrases like I have chosen and I would like, like these announcement style sentences. They're really redundant and unnecessary, particularly if you're setting up the summary the way that you should. So for example, if you just state in William Carlos Williams's short story, The Use of Force, if I can spell it right, the author explores, and then you begin your summary, right? So if I put it together like this by introducing the author and the text, there's no need for me to say that I've chosen it and I would like to talk about, because clearly if you've included these two things in the essay, you're going to talk about them. So it's really just redundant and unnecessary. Also, don't forget to format your titles. Secondly, your use of the word to, you have a homophone error. So there's three forms of the word to, and two. To with two O's refers to also, if I can spell it. So when we say this form of the word to, it's like I am going to go to, meaning I am going to go as well. Whenever you're using to with two O's in this paragraph, you're using the wrong word. You actually mean to with one O, which refers to location, right? So you're saying I would like to talk about, so I'm going to talk about the use of force. You don't mean to say that I would also like to talk about it. That's not what you mean here. The doctor had arrived to the family's house, right? You're not talking about also, you're talking about location. So please make sure that you're editing for your homophone errors as well. And then of course, TWO, just for sake of continuity, refers to, of course, a number. So in this case, you're wanting to use TO, not TOO. So you got some missing parts and pieces in this submission, but I think it could get there. But I would recommend another round of revision on this. So please contact me and let me know if you have any questions about developing your